Hey, I'm Scott L. Miller, this is Sheep Guarding Llama, and this is the 11th of July, 2021, filming from, thank you Mia, from the Simple Beach Lodge in Las Bonitas, Leon, Nicaragua. Today is Sunday, and I spent the day mostly working because I am horribly backlogged on work, mostly the book, but there's lots of technical stuff too. Everybody needs me, there's so much going on, and now with the hotel, there's like the hotel website, the hotel social media, we need to do photography for the hotel, got to get posts out, there's a lot, just more going on than there was before, and so it's just taking a lot of my time. Today, most everyone was gone shopping all day in Lyon, so I was just here working, it was nice and quiet, and at some point, I went into the bathroom and discovered that the shower was backing up. Not backing up from taking a shower, just backing up with the water coming from somewhere else. The laundry's right over this way, so it was luckily laundry water pushing back through the pipes and not like sewage or anything, because our showers don't actually go to the sewer, they actually just go to open drains, so the water coming in is coming from us and not from black water sources, just from gray water sources, but that doesn't change the fact that you don't want it flowing into the shower, and especially the shower is a level up. So if the shower fills up, because it's kind of contained in tile and concrete, if that fills up, it's going to spill over the edge. That's going to flood the bathroom. The moment the bathroom floods, it's going to flow down over a ledge and into my bedroom, also known as the office, because it used to be the manager's office. It's meant to be a manager's quarters. We've adapted it, so I have the desk and all that stuff. Anyway, so this is a pending disaster. It's not going to destroy everything. Nothing's really on the floor. It's a tile floor, so you can hear the sound of the dog dropping a bone onto the tile floor to highlight what kind of floor it is. Luckily, Wilbur, our maintenance guru, was here today, and he's like, I got this. So he immediately came in and started working on it. He probably put in an hour. And I'm like, do you need to call a plumber? He's like, no, I got this. He puts in like an hour. And he's like, this is a disaster. He takes me outside. He's like, here's where it's backing up in laundry. Then he goes to where that drains. He's like, here's where everything's flooded. Like everything's backing up everywhere. So he called the plumber. One of the great things about living in Central America, I should say in Nicaragua, I don't know if all of Central America is like this, but in Nicaragua, and this has happened many times, right? Because we're a hotel, so lots of things happen here. Our plumber is here in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Right? He doesn't even have a car. He walks here, I think. He was here in 10 minutes with a crew, and they had everything fixed in about 2 hours. It was messy. The room was a disaster. There was mud and whatever came out of the shower everywhere. But remember, tile floors, so not the end of the world. They got the shower figured out. They got the plumbing outside figured out. They got everything done. And this is after a week ago, we had some disaster where a pipe burst on the second floor. Luckily, not like in the walls. It was like an outside attached. So it was kind of logical that it burst and it wasn't like this huge disaster. But the guys went out and they're like, there's water pouring down the side of the hotel. And we're like, oh no. They were here at 11 o'clock at night in 10 minutes and got that fixed by 1 a.m. I don't know, maybe by 11:30. I don't know how fast it was because I went to bed, but they were out there in the dark at a moment's notice and got things fixed. You would never get service like that in the US. Not because our plumbers in the US aren't good or responsive, there just aren't enough of them and they're always really busy and there's no like demand. Or there's so much demand that there's no market pressure on them to be extra responsive because no one else is gonna show up. So they can take their time and you're a captive audience. Here, we might call another plumber if they didn't do a good job. So they do a good job. Now that's unfortunate for the plumbing industry, but for real people living here, because there is a certain level of unemployment, and because plumbing is not the most complicated thing in the world, and you don't have to be bonded and licensed, and you don't have to apprentice for a long time to become a plumber, there are plumbers available, and they will come fix things quickly. Now, we have a really good plumber. I wouldn't want to call someone else, but those pressures make it that things like electricians, maintenance guys, plumbers, they're responsive here. You're not stuck for days without water trying to figure out what to do because there's no plumber available. You can get things fixed very quickly. It is great, right? So today they did that. It took a few hours, but we got everything fixed. Cost was minimal. I don't even know how much it costs because the hotel pays for it. But typically those things are like $100 or less, right? Like it's crazy how cheap it is considering how fast it is. If you had to pay for that responsiveness in the United States, you would pay thousands of dollars for them to drop everything, leave dinner, come over and do the work. So that's a big Central American plus for sure. And then, of course, also a big plus, the place was a mess, and as soon as they were done, they went and let the maid know, and she came down and got it all sparkling clean without me having to intervene at all. I just left the room and went and had dinner, and all that got done. So it ended up being a really overall simple thing to fix, even though we started the day. There's some maintenance going on right now. We're having electrical upgrades done to the hotel for fire safety, so they're doing a bit of kind of construction to make it all possible. So all of that happened, right? If had that same thing happened back home in the US, it would have been days of not being able to use the shower. It would have probably destroyed lots of flooring and walls and all kinds of things. Here it did 0 damage. It did 0 damage, cost almost nothing, and took very little time to get fixed. So being able to take a shower later that day, no problem. Later today, no problem, right? Completely different thing. Now, of course, as soon as I did get a chance to take a shower, holy cow, what are they doing? As soon as I did get a chance to take a shower, the soap flew out of my hands, and because we don't have a drain cover yet, just one of millions of things that need to be done, my soap went straight down the drain. But luckily we use all organic soap here, so it should dissolve very quickly, and it didn't back up again, so I guess we're okay. Anyway, that is the 11th of July, 2021, Adventures in Plumbing in Nicaragua. I'll see everybody tomorrow.